everybody. I didn't know what happened right there. I hit the record button and my screen froze. But we're good.
my end was normal.
All right. Well, there you go. Apparently, so it's just me. My computer has decided that it's going to be 2006 today. Everything is taking forever to load. Websites aren't opening.
So you're telling me take Jeff Ogilvy for next week?
Yeah. Is he in the field?
Probably not. But he won the 06 US Open. Because Phil's hitting in trash cans, Monty's fucking hitting shanks from the fairway. It was great. And Jeff Ogilvy was getting up and down from literally everywhere.
We just wrapped up the Memorial, which I think is a fun tournament. It's a super hard course.
You know what's funny? So when I was breaking it down this week, I was pulling a lot of names and I wasn't seeing a lot of like no Justin Thomas, no. It was really like any of the guys who played last week in Texas didn't play this week. Like no Morikawa did play. He didn't make the cut. I took him. But some of those guys at the top like didn't play this. And I forgot the Memorial is one of those tournaments where it's like generally, and it's a little different now because I think the top is a little bit deeper, but you would get, oh, it's the Memorial. Tiger's probably going to play. It's Jack's place. It's Muirfield. The place is perfect. It's immaculate, whatever. Dudes don't play.
Yeah.
And then like David Lingmerth wins and Dirt McGirt wins. Like it's been a little bit better lately, but I think that's because, you know, you got Cantlay has won twice. Like Cantlay is generally regarded as pretty good. Like Cam Smith was, first of all, the next time I bet Cam Smith, can you fucking stop me? Because
did you take him for the US Open?
No, I took Zalatoris. That's what I did that on the show though.
Yeah, I think I tailed you on that too.
All my US Open stuff's going to go in because I'm going to New Jersey next weekend.
Nice. So is there a wedding?
Yeah, wedding. So I'll be there for 3 days. 3 days? No, we get down there Thursday, leave Saturday. So like 2 days. So I'm going to put all my US Open stuff in down there, I think.
Nice.
That way I don't have to tie up my MyBookie account.
Yeah, shout out to MyBookie. Go to mybookie.com. Use the promo code SarcasmPod when you sign up to double your first deposit up to $1,000. So if you are in a state that allows legalized sports betting, I guess I can't really stop you from using the legal sports book.
Well, no, you just check offshore too, because you can get better numbers sometimes. Like,
yeah, well, you always got to have multiple books, right?
I don't, but
I guess I technically have 3, but one of them is DraftKings, so it doesn't count. It doesn't count unless I'm in New York for work or New Hampshire for pleasure, I guess. Oh, does DraftKings doesn't work in Rhode Island, does it?
No. So Rhode Island only has their own sports book.
Yeah. So it's only New Hampshire and New York.
Well, DraftKings
places that I would go to.
Yeah, New York, New Jersey, New Hampshire. Like, are you ever going to have to go to New Jersey for work?
Hopefully not.
Maybe Pennsylvania. Do you go to Pennsylvania?
I will end up going to Pennsylvania at some point.
I think Pennsylvania has it.
Okay.
Yeah, I only have my only out is MyBookie because, and the reason why, like I say, I'm going to put all my US Open stuff in DraftKings is because if I want more money on my offshore account, I have to add more money and there's a fee and all that crap. But I have the money on DraftKings. So what I will do, and as you guys saw with the PGA, I think I only took like 3 or 4 guys. But for the Masters, I took like 9 guys, but that's because I went to Rhode Island and just put cash on them. So like if I'm only using my main offshore account, I'm not going to like put in all these crazy ass bets and all this ridiculous shit. But since I'm going to New Jersey and I can use my DraftKings account, I'll probably have like 7 to 10 guys. And I already have Zalatoris. So
yeah.
I'll just continue to add. Now, that's not good bankroll management. Like, trust me, it's not. That would be betting for the entertainment of betting. It's called gambling. Like, we're not betting anymore. We're gambling.
Right.
You're not betting. You're not counting. You were gambling. Name the movie.
Rounders?
Nope. 21. Kevin Spacey. You were gambling. You weren't counting.
I will give a quick shout out to DraftKings, though not a sponsor of the show, but they could be if they wanted to. I don't know who this person is, but maybe about a month ago, I got like a random invitation to join a DraftKings weekly golf thing by Free Drop Billy. I don't know who Free Drop Billy is, but he sends me I've been doing it for like a month now, and there's really not really that many people. There's usually between like 30 and 45 people in it every week. So only it's the top 2 people win. But of the 4 weeks, I think I've done it. I think I've got, maybe this was the 5th week, because I've got second place twice and first place once. So I've made like, I don't know, $60 off of this league.
What's the entry?
It changes week to week. I think the Masters, not the Masters, the major. What was the most recent major we just had? The PGA. I think the PGA was either a 3 or a 5, but then all the other weeks I think are 2s.
And is it like a 1 entry max, or is it?
Yeah, single entry max. Yeah. I don't know if I can invite people to it, but I might be. I'm not gonna
do it.
Yeah. So I have no idea who this person is. So if it's a listener, if you listen to the podcast and you invited me, Free Drop Billy, to your weekly DraftKings league, shout out to you. But I don't know who this person is, but yeah, like I said, I've done pretty well in the group so far over the last like 4 or 5 weeks, however long it's been.
I want to bring up a story about the betting markets. So Canada has legal, we have legal. And I don't know if you've noticed, but there's been like sketchy shit going on. If you don't know anything about sports betting, what ends up happening is the American books, they really try to limit their liability, obviously. Like, they don't want to get crushed and they want to take everyone's money, obviously.
Right.
That's how that works. So what you end up getting from that is some weird stuff. Like, if you hit, let's just use me for an example. So like when I hit that Tom Hoagie bet, and I actually hit him live, I didn't have him beforehand. Say my unit was, no, because the gamblers don't even do that. Let's just say I put $20 on them at 66 to 1.
Yeah.
So that would have paid out like 1,300, 1,400,
roughly. Yeah.
Something like that. So the next time I log in, if I tried to bet at some of these places, what they might do is the next 66 to 1 that I try to do. And if I did $20 the last time, they might say, like, when you try to submit, you get like the wheel of death. And it's like, your max bet for this is $7. And so what they do is, again, they put limits on people. And then, so I'm betting an insignificant amount of money. So it's really never going to be an issue. Like, right. even if that scenario played out, that's not enough money for people to give a fuck.
Yeah.
What is enough money for people to give a fuck sometimes is when they want to put $500 on, like, what sport are we in? Baseball. So like, say there's a 30 to 1 MVP favorite that someone wants to put $500 on, and $500 for that person is like a unit, and that's what they bet on outrights and whatever. They might get the wheel of death, and then it turns around and says, you can bet $47 or you can bet $4.23. So limits are not uncommon to players that bet decent amounts of money. getting outright banned from some places is not uncommon. If you're curious about any of that, find Spanky on Twitter and you can see him getting kicked out of and limited from every book in New Jersey.
At Spanky?
I think it might just be at Spanky.
Yeah.
Either way, you can find Spanky, the sports betting guy. It's 3 clicks, you'll find it. And he gets limited at places. And the most recent one was actually some guy walks up to the counter, Colorado. Colorado's got the most legal American books in the state. They got like 20 of them. And I think it might have been a Barstool book. So the guy goes up and I don't remember what the future was, but I believe it was an even money future, like plus 100. And he goes, what is the limit on that bet? They go, I don't know. We'll take it. Whatever your action is, we'll take it. We got it. He goes, okay. I want that bet plus 100, $3,000. Okay. Then he goes, I want this bet at plus 130. And I'm going to give you 1,500 for it. Different bet. So total $4,500. And I am making up the numbers, but what happens, the details of the story are correct, but the numbers are made up because I don't remember them off the top of my head. And I don't remember the guy's name. So he pays the money. They print the tickets and they hold on to the tickets. So the tickets are printed. They just haven't been given back yet.
Right.
And then they go to him and they go, all right, so actually what's going to happen is that plus 100, we're only going to take 1,000 on that. Oh, and it was plus 100. Now it's minus 150. Guy's like, nope, just give me my fucking money back. Yeah. Like, so it's not uncommon to see shit like that. That's pretty extreme that the tickets were printed. They didn't give them to the guy and then they went. The guy Spanky, you'll see, like he'll go into a place. If you go to it, big, what's my max on college football sides? They'll be like $5,000. Goes, okay. What about college football totals? They go 1,000. Okay. NFL sides. And like, he just goes through the whole thing. Then when he goes to place the bet, the manager will come over and be like, no, I can't take that. Your max. I said, he goes, you just told me $5,000 a side. They go, yeah, the max we're gonna be able to do is 500. So that's how they limit people. And it's all about like limiting their exposure, blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't think there's anything inherently illegal about that. I think it's just shady business, but if every sports book does it to all these people, especially when they're pros, and this is why there's beards and that's why there's different accounts and people go offshore, all that shit. So I think it's called Bet Regal, which is Canadian and it's only in Canada. And there was something with one of the Canadian football games. The game ended. And then the game ended, the bets were paid. And then Bet Regal or whatever took the money back from the accounts and canceled all the bets, saying that they were void for a bad line. Now, if anyone has no idea what that means, a bad line would be the spread tonight, Celtics Warriors. It's Warriors minus 4.5. And for some inexplicable reason, they posted -1. That's a bad line. That's a wrong line. That is not the correct spread. Those bets would get canceled because one is not 4.5. It's wrong. It's off by 3.5 points. Like there was a mistake somewhere, somehow, some way, whatever.
Someone got fat fingers.
Whatever the reason. Now this happens sometimes too with more sketchy ways. That would be like a simple, someone hit the wrong key or whatever. Like sometimes you get a bad line because it gets announced in 3 seconds that Steph Curry's injured tonight. and then you rush and get your Celtics bet in, and they cancel the bets because of info changes. That's a little bit sketchier, but that does happen. What does not happen is game ends, money is paid, and then money gets pulled back. That's insane to me.
Right.
And you're starting, and that is by far the most extreme example. That's not limiting players. That's not bad line bullshit.
That's literally stealing the money.
That's literally stealing.
Yeah. Yep.
So the only thing that we are going to have to see as more and more books become legal and more people limit, and you got fucking Nicki Minaj's fucking posting bets now or some shit. Like, Jesus. It's fucking insane. Like, these regulators are going to have to kind of get their shit together.
Yeah.
Because this is fucking nuts.
So it's interesting that you brought that up. I've heard that story before, and I've also heard and read some other things on Twitter. And I shook my head when you said, I think it was Barstool, because it was. So
in Colorado.
Yeah.
I think that was a Barstool.
So
that might have been DraftKings.
The one thing that I will say about Barstool Sportsbook is that they've already created a reputation for themselves for being super shady. Because I've seen people post stuff on Twitter where, similar to like what you were saying, they'll try and bet, again, I'm making up numbers here, but they'll try and put a bet in for $1,000 on, a plus 120 odds. And then all of a sudden it'll get kicked back to them and say like error, bet couldn't be placed. And then the odds will immediately change to like minus 110.
Yeah.
And and then they're like, okay, well, now I don't want the bet.
Yeah.
So like Barstool has done that enough that like people all over Twitter talk about it. So
yeah, it's almost like they're soliciting, especially with these newer books, like the Vegas ones don't do this much of shit.
No, because it's Vegas. Like
they've basically been doing it a long time. Like they've been doing it for a while.
True.
So it's like the Barstool books, whatever, if they hang like a 6 and everywhere else in Vegas is minus 6.5, like someone's going to come and drill that.
Yeah.
So then what they're effectively doing is they're waiting for the pending bets to set their lines. So they can see it's like, oh, well, guys are trying to get down on the Celtics tonight because we hung plus 5.5. It's like, oh shit, we gotta like not allow those bets and we gotta move that line.
Yeah,
because people drill things quick, like it happens fast.
Right.
And then the other thing too is that people aren't paying attention to, and I think that this has gotta. I would actually think that this sounds illegal, but it's for sure not. The sports books employing or backing influencers who then give picks. How come no one is like questioning that? So if you want to know more about this shit too, so you can go to Spanky's Twitter for about the limits, whatever. You can find Adam Chernoff for the article about Bet Regal or Regal Bets, whatever the fuck their name is. And then if you want to learn more about like what the shady shit of sports betting, you got to go to Chicken Dinner with Sam Panayotovich, because he'll talk. He got into it. There's like Dan Le Batard. So Dan Le Batard is gets paid by DraftKings, and he puts out the Dan Le Batard parlay, and they were like 3 MMA fighters, all minus 500 or higher. So they're massive favorites. And so one of them lost, and the bet lost. Right. But how is a sports book paying a person to give picks? Losing picks, because they're all parlays and boosts and all this shit.
Right.
How is it not a conflict of interest to pay Dan Le Batard and then also allow him to peddle and boost a parlay, knowing the hit rate on parlays?
Yeah. Anyone that that tries to bet a parlay that are famous. First of all, betting a parlay is fucking stupid. Second of all, betting a parlay from a celebrity is the dumbest fucking thing ever.
Yeah. So you tail, but this is the thing. They have such a massive following that people are going to tail that. So then what happens
and DraftKings makes a ton of fucking money off of that bet.
Yes. So what happens is Sam goes after those bets because he took, I don't remember the order. It was like three massive underdogs, or it was three underdogs in the tournament. All three of them lost. And then he turned around and did the three UFC favorites, and one of them lost. So the bets lose, whatever. So so Sam calls these people out, and Sam's just a betting analyst, working for Nesson now, Nesson Bets and Fox Bet and whatever the fuck. And people go, "Oh, you just don't get the show." He's like, "That is terrifying." He goes, "What?" He goes, "Oh, so it's a joke." He goes, "So this guy puts out a parlay, and it's just supposed to be like a big gag.
Yeah,
like we're all supposed to have a good laugh over it. Like for people that are actually in the industry and people that actually like want to bet money, like people see that money, that number, and they want to win. They're not doing it to lose. Like no one places a bet to lose, or no one places a bet because they're in on the joke." And it drives Sam nuts because he's taking so much shit for calling people out on their bullshit. So like there was another woman, it's like Liv Moods on Twitter or whatever, and she works for FanDuel, and she gave out some whatever picks, and Sam went to her bet stamp, which tracks picks, and she is a losing bettor. Like the picks are there. Now, I think someone was tracking them on like for her. Like I think I can just go on bet stamp and track someone's picks.
Yeah.
And then it turned into that he's trying to stifle women in the industry. And he's like, "No, you don't get," he goes, "You're a fucking idiot." Like, and he's blunt with shit like that. It's so funny. He goes, "You are a fucking moron." Yeah. And no, he goes, "I'm not trying to stifle anybody, except I am trying to stifle someone who works for a sports book and is giving out losing picks."
Right.
So you got to know who you're following. But it's crazy. Like especially something like that. Like how the fuck is it not like, is there no regulation?
Yeah.
On like, cause there is there is a gaming board and there is regulatory, like there's regulators.
Yeah.
How the fuck are they allowing this to happen?
I don't know. And I'd be interested. I mean, I no pun intended, but I'm willing to bet that 95+% of all of these like picks that these endorsed people are giving out are some sort of like parlay, teaser, whatever. Like no one's giving out straight bets. Like none of them is going to be like, "Oh yeah, we're all going to take the Warriors -4.5 tonight." That's what we're riding with. They're going to be like, "No, you're going to, take, you're going to want to tease the Warriors and the under," or you know what I mean? Like they'll give you like the same game parlays or same game teasers, or they'll give you like a bunch of dumb shit, and it's like no one. Again, I'm just saying I don't know this for a fact, but I'd be willing to bet that the sportsbook backed celebrities that give picks aren't giving straight picks. Like they're not going to tell you, like UFC, for example, they're not going to be like, take Alexander Volkanovski at -170. They're going to be like, "Oh no, you're going to take Volkanovski with Weilin Zhang and also fucking Alistair Overeem."
Yeah,
in a parlay.
And it's guaranteed for 2 out of 3 of them to hit.
Yeah, exactly.
But not 3.
Yeah, and then Weilin Zhang goes out and gets fucking starched. So it's like, all right, sick.
Yeah. No, it's just it's comical. It's such a sketchy spot. And actually it's almost funny because that shit only happens with the American books because they're legal.
Right.
That shit doesn't happen offshore.
Right.
You don't get offshore books paying people to give picks. Like you don't get that.
Yeah.
Now offshore sites have their good and bad too.
Nothing bad about mybookie.com though.
No, cause I would say
promo code Sarcasm Pod doubles your first deposit up to $1,000.
No, because the bad with offshore generally is with payout procedures.
Right.
So
and my bookie is super
you've
easy.
withdrawn twice from my bookie, right?
Yeah.
So I've never withdrawn, but I've also never had an issue withdrawing. But that's why I ultimately went with them, because Bet Online was like a minimum $500. I'm like, I just don't bet enough.
Yeah.
I just don't. So that's our I guess that's our sports gambling opener.
Yeah. That's how we bet on sports.
And that's all the bullshit.
Well, if you want to talk about bullshit, CNN, like everyone with a brain, right, with half a brain, has been able to see through the bullshit of CNN over the last, I mean, at this point, probably upwards of 7 years, maybe.
Probably since old 45 got in.
Yeah, well, definitely since that's 2016.
That's probably when they jumped the shark.
I would say a little bit before that too. So they just recently took over new ownership, right? So CNN was purchased by Discovery, I believe. Or not CNN itself, but whoever owns like the parent company of CNN. I don't know if it was Viacom. I don't know. It doesn't matter. But we talked about it on the show like maybe a month ago that they already canceled CNN Plus. Yep. It lasted like 3 or 4 weeks. They sunk like $420 million into it or something like that.
Could they have ended world hunger with that?
Yeah, probably, depending on who you ask.
Sure.
So the new CEO of CNN is fuck, I don't know his name. I don't have it here in front of me. But it's not Jeff Zucker anymore. Jeff Zucker was the guy that was there before, and he was involved in a bunch of shit. I think he was like banging one of the people that worked at CNN. So they're under new leadership. Chris Light, but it's Light like the former GM of the Buccaneers. It's Licht. So the new CEO, Chris Light, has decided that CNN is going to cut back on breaking news. So the whole point of this, right, is so his reasoning is that the label breaking news has become such a fixture on every channel and network that its impact has become lost on the audience. He's also come out and said he wants to move away from partisan commentary toward original journalism. So it now has a new set of internal rules to limit the overuse of, quote, breaking news. And then it says, you know, according to YouGov, which I don't know who they are, they're probably just another polling company, only 36% of Americans consider CNN trustworthy. Not surprisingly, 66% of that is Democrats, and 11% of that is Republicans. So it has the largest gap of the 22 news outlets that were covered in the survey. So basically, if you ask a Democrat about CNN, they say, of course it's true. And if you ask a Republican, they say, of course it's false. So new CEO Chris Light wants to get away with that. He has come out and said on the record, we are going to be truth tellers, focused on informing, not alarming our viewers. You've already seen far less of the breaking news banner across our programming. Again, it's become such a fixture on every channel that its impact has become lost. And all this, he goes on and on and on. So to that, I say, bravo, sir. This Chris Light guy at least is saying the right things. We shall see what actually goes down, right? How it actually happens moving forward. But I remember back in the day, in like the 90s and the early 2000s. Now, again, I'm super young, right? So I don't pay super close attention to the news. But from just what other people had said and just the general, climate of people, back in the 90s and the early 2000s, CNN was the spot to go, right? Like CNN was the legit news. It was Wolf Blitzer. It was, I don't know, whoever the fuck was before him, or all these guys that were Crossfire. I remember was a big show. My grandfather used to watch that all the time. But CNN was like the legit news source, right? Like everyone went to CNN for shit because they were just straight facts, right? Fox has always been right wing. MSNBC has always been left wing. They've gone harder in those directions over the last decade. But like up until, let's call it like 2014-ish, CNN has been pretty neutral, right? They've just been there. And now they're the furthest left, arguably, of them all. Until now. So the new CEO wants to fix that. He wants to bring CNN back to what it used to be. He wants to elevate real journalists and real journalism. And I think he might be onto something.
So, sounds nice, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
You think it'll actually happen?
I don't know.
I don't, because now I could be wrong. So if I'm guessing the market correctly, or I guess if I'm guessing the market incorrectly, then I'm going to be very fucking wrong. I don't think people are going to watch CNN because they want actual journalism. I think people watch CNN right now because it's their side and they're listening to the right team.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any saving CNN. And that's a lack of faith in real, true, actual journalism in 2022.
Well, there's a real hunger for legit journalism, right? There's a reason why the Joe Rogan show gets 11 million downloads an episode. There's a reason why, the Drinking Bros podcast is so fucking big. Why Ben Shapiro is so fucking big. Why, I'm trying to think of anyone else that does like news, current event stuff. But, whatever. Like there's a reason why that's the Joe Rogan show is it's the biggest fucking show on the planet, right? It's by far the biggest show on the planet. He's bigger than Tucker Carlson. He's bigger than Rachel Maddow. He's bigger than all of them combined. Joe Rogan gets more views in one episode than I think like CNN, Fox, MSNBC combined in a month. So it's like Rogan blows everybody out of the water. But why is that? Because he's unbiased. Well, mostly unbiased. And he goes into things with a general curiosity, right? And he's not a traditional journalist, but he kind of is one, right? He asks a lot of questions. He has some interesting people on, and he's not afraid to push back against people and their beliefs. And he's pretty good at playing both sides, right? I think back to some of the guests he's had on. He's had some climate change people on, and he's had some climate change people that are like, oh my God, the world's going to end. And he'll push them on their shit and be like, you guys have been saying this shit for 30 years and the world's not ended. And he'll like push on them. But then in the next episode, he'll have someone on doing climate change that's like a climate change denier, right? That's like, oh yeah, no, this is all bullshit, whatever. And he'll look at them and be like, well, that's bullshit, because you can't say that humans have had zero impact on the environment. So he's good at playing both sides, right? Like he's good at pushing and forcing people to explain their thought process, I guess. So I think that if CNN were to go back to real journalism, I think they would thrive, right? And I'm not saying that it would take away from Joe Rogan, because I think the people that follow Rogan now are always going to follow Rogan. I mean, he's only gotten bigger, right? There's never been since 2009, when he started the show, there's never been any reports that his show has gotten less popular, right? Like he's just continued to get more and more popular over the last, 13 years, however long he's done the show. So CNN has been more ebbs and flows, right? Over since it started in like whatever, the 70s, I think it was, maybe. So I don't know. I think there's a hunger for it, right? People like Glenn Greenwald. People like, Breaking Points. That's the other one. Crystal and Saga, right? They're fucking huge because they're mostly unbiased, right? So I don't know. I think if CNN can turn it around, I think that they'll actually become popular again.
So what's the big difference between the things that you described in CNN?
Corporate sponsors, really.
Well, I wasn't even going to say, I was just going to say corporate structure.
Yeah.
Where there'll be certain things, it's got to get it's all the same bullshit. Like every fucking journalistic stereotype we can think of.
Well, it's got to come down to this
I got
guy,
this great
Chris
idea.
Light.
It's like, I got a great idea for a pitch, and the editor's like, nah.
It's got to come down to Chris Light, the new CEO, right? If he instills this environment of like, we're done with the bullshit, we're done with the sensationalism and all of this shit, and we're just going back to straight facts, then it'll trickle down, right? Because it's like I said, it falls on his shoulders. And if people don't get in line, they got to go. It's as simple as that, right? Like if you're going to be an effective leader and you're going to be the CEO, you're taking over as a CEO of a company that's existed for 50 years at least. Again, I don't know how long CNN's been around. I would say roughly 50 years, if not maybe a little bit more. And it's failing, and it's failing hard. Like it has been doing a hard nosedive for the last 2 years. And now you're the new CEO. Like you can't go in and be like, okay, well, I know Brian Stelter. Yeah, I know you're a really nice guy, and I know, you've been at the agency for a while, or the company for a while, and then you have the 7 p.m. show, and you say some stuff, and okay, I'll let you do that. No, there's none of that shit. It's, hey man, this is what we're doing. You either get on board or there's the door. And that, I feel like that's what he has to do, right? He's got to clean house, or he needs the people that are there to get on board, right? It's either get on board or get off the ship. And if he doesn't do that, then it's just going to continue to spiral and crash and burn and not exist anymore, which I don't really give a fuck about because I don't watch it.
Yeah, I could care less. I just don't have a lot of faith that mainstream media can fight the fight of, for all intents and purposes, independent people.
Yeah. No, there's certainly less red tape, right? But I think it really does come down to the leader and the leadership. Because look at Netflix, right? People, the trans whatever like issues with the Netflix, the Netflix CEO was like, you don't like it, just quit. Like all the alleged trans people that work at Netflix, that out of the entire population, trans makes up 1% of the world's or less than 1% probably of the world's population, but somehow 40% of the people that work at Netflix, some I guess identify as trans. They all walk out, and the CEO of Netflix goes, get back to work or you're fired. I don't give a shit. Like, yeah, but Dave Chappelle is mean. I'm not taking his special down. So
Dave Chappelle pays your salary.
Right. So, it takes something like that, right? The CEO of Netflix doesn't give a fuck. He's not woke. He doesn't deal with this woke bullshit. He cares about money. He cares about views and money at the end of the day. The whole Ricky Gervais thing. People tried to go after Ricky Gervais after his latest special, saying he's a homophobe, he's a transphobe, he's a this phobe, he's that. It's like, and Netflix is like, go fuck yourself. We're making money off of this stuff. We're not taking it down. So it's shit like that, right? And it's to a lesser degree it's Spotify, right? So the CEO of Spotify did cave a little bit, because now they do like stupid COVID warning labels on episodes, but still, like, Spotify was like, no, we're not canceling Rogan. We're not canceling the show. Like, we're standing by Joe Rogan. Like, because he makes them money. Like, there's a reason why they pay him $200 million a year, because they are gambling, to get back to the whole gambling thing, that they are going to make more than $200 million a year in advertising dollars and in subscription money. So, so they don't give a fuck. They stuck by Rogan, and he just kept on keeping on. So it takes shit like that, right? It takes the leadership. So it can be done, but you need the leadership to stick to their guns, right? There can't be any wishy-washy. Like I said, like, okay, all right, that's fine. Like, I don't even know who else is on CNN besides Brian Stelter and Anderson Cooper. But, like, I don't know, some other guy be like, hey, stop sensationalizing everything. Like, stop saying that, like, if you like that, this is the worst time to be like in the country, like the country's going to shit. You know what I mean? Like, you can't say that like every single day about every single thing. Like, oh my God,
the worst day of your life.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like, oh no, there's another mass shooting today. Oh my God, there's shootings every day, right? It's like, well, no, that's not true. Like, it's
I'd like to see the maps on that.
Yeah. It's the sensationalism, right? And it's like, stop that or you're gone. So we'll see. Like I said, it at least sounds promising.
Someone will see. I won't see. I couldn't fucking even like when I thought I was supposed to watch like the news or something, I could not fucking stand it, like, ever. Never could fucking stand like goddamn news.
It's
like, still to this point, it's like,
yeah,
I can't stand it. I don't get it. I don't understand what people get. I don't know. I'll never fucking get it.
Well, it's dumb.
I'm just what it is. I'll just stick to what I know, which isn't a lot, but
well, what I know is that good old 46 has decided to actually cancel some student loans. So he has officially come out and canceled how much? $5.8 billion in student loan debt, which is the largest single debt cancellation ever by the federal government.
That's why my gas was fucking $4.90 the other day.
No, that's just because he sucks. Which, okay. Funny story, like, this is a tangent, but I was at the gas station the other day, obviously getting gas, and
it's so weird. I just kind of go there to smoke cigarettes
and hope for the best.
Having a gas fight like Zoolander.
Yeah. So there's an older gentleman, I don't know, probably in his 60s, on the other side of the pump, and he's filling up. I don't know. He's got like a RAV4, like a small SUV, and I have a Tacoma that fucking costs me a fuck ton of money every time I fill it up. But this guy was filling up his gas tank. We did not speak one word. You know, you're on the other side of the kiosk, right? Like, I don't fucking see it. Like, we're just filling up our gas tanks, right? We're just standing there. He takes the nozzle out of his gas tank, puts it back into the kiosk, and just goes, fuck Joe Biden. And then like gets back into his Toyota RAV4 and like drives away. Like, there were no words spoken between. It wasn't like a, hey man, how you doing today? Like, there was nothing. Like, for all he knew, like, I wasn't even standing there. And he just decided to out loud yell, fuck Joe Biden, when he was done filling up his gas tank. And I started dying laughing. I was like, this is fucking incredible. Like I said, totally unprovoked, like no other conversation. This dude who's probably like 63 years old, who drives like a 2017 Toyota RAV4, probably just paid $65 to fill up his gas tank, right? And he's like, fuck Joe Biden, gets back in his car and drives away. Amazing. But back to the whole Biden thing. He forgave $5.8 billion in student loan debt. But have you seen anything on social media about this?
No.
Heard anybody talk about it?
I haven't seen shit.
No. You know why? Because it didn't actually do anything. All he did was forgive student loan debt for one college that no longer exists. So this one college was, or I guess it's a group of colleges, but it's this money, this forgiveness. Yeah, that's the word. This loan forgiveness is to support people who attended Corinthian colleges, which was a for-profit college system. Now, for anyone that doesn't know out there, all universities, or not all, but 97% of universities in the country are nonprofit organizations, which means they don't pay taxes.
That is a massive, massive fucking joke.
Yep. Just like the NFL. The NFL is a nonprofit organization.
Oh, just like the PGA Tour.
Yeah. So it makes the NFL makes $10 billion a year. They don't have to pay taxes on it.
I don't know who's worse. I don't know what's worse, the college system or the NCAA.
Yeah. So, like I said, probably I'll lowball it. I'll say 95% of all colleges and universities across the country are nonprofit, right? Nonprofit organizations, they're exempt from paying taxes. So there was this one group of colleges called Corinthian colleges, which I'm assuming was probably after the religion. Isn't Corinthian like a sect of
Book of Corinthians?
Yeah. I think it's a Protestant. I think it's a sect of the Protestant religions. It's one of those. Like there's 15,000
Corinthian. I don't know how that works. Like the Book of Corinthian, like because it's not like the Bible. Like it's in the Bible. The Corinthians are in the Bible, or
right.
Or Corinthians, like whatever the fuck.
Yeah. So either way, Corinthian colleges was a for-profit system of colleges that went bankrupt in 2015. After a series of lawsuits that accused the company of deceptive and misleading marketing practices. Weird that when you have a college that works on a for-profit system that actually has to pay taxes, they get got for doing shady shit and they go bankrupt. Not like, any other college, like, Harvard, that's come out that they changed their shit for Asian people and made it harder for Asian people to get in. But whatever, we don't have to go there for that. So this college went bankrupt in 2015, and there are 560,000 former students, roughly, that are out there that still owe debt to the federal government for attending this college that doesn't exist anymore. So Biden forgave all of their student loan debt. So he's getting lit up on Twitter was when this came out a couple of days ago, but he was getting lit up on Twitter, and rightfully so, right? Because people were like, this motherfucker told us he was gonna forgive student loans. And then it came out that it was rumored he was going to forgive $10,000 per person. And then he comes out and says, yeah, no, I'm actually going to forgive now. And everyone's like, oh my God, we're getting student loan forgiveness. Oh yeah, by the way, it's only for the 560,000 people that applied to, that went to and attended Corinthian colleges. All of their debt's gone. So now all these people are like,
technically he's not a liar.
Right. But all these people now are like, well, what about us? Right. So the total US federal loan student debt is $1.6 trillion. I'm curious. I'm going to Google.
I should only be 1.1 now.
How many people?
No. Fuck, my math's way out. That's missing some decimal points.
Yeah. How many people have student loan debt? 46 million Americans have some sort of student loan debt. He forgave 560,000. 46 million people in the country have been, like I said, have some sort of debt, have been told, oh yeah, there'll be some debt forgiveness. Biden comes out, I'm forgiving student loans. Oh yeah, for all 46 million of us? No, for just a couple. Oh, how many? Like 40 million? No, less. 20 million? Less. 1 million? Still less. Well, how many? 560,000.
560 trillion into a fucking calculator. There's a lot of zeros.
Yeah, there's a lot of fucking zeros in that.
It's 35 grand a person.
12 zeros?
I did 1.6 trillion divided by 46 million. It's 35 grand a person.
Yeah, so the average American has 35. Well, not the average outstanding debt per person is 35,000
grand.
I'd be willing to bet that the average person probably has more than that. So,
yeah, I have no idea. Let's say statistically speaking, I don't know how that would work out.
Yeah, I don't either. But so here we are. He said he was going to do it.
He said he was going to forgive student loan debt, and he did it. You didn't ask the right questions. To all you people that are outraged, did you ask the correct question? When he said he was going to forgive student loan debt, did you ask any follow-up questions? For who? For what? What schools? How much? You didn't ask the follow-up questions. So you can't criticize him for lying to you now.
Right.
You weren't thorough enough.
I still think that they're going to do something, right? So the payment pause or whatever the fuck you want to call it, the 0% interest allegedly ends in August. Right?
Yeah, I've heard that before.
They've extended it like 4 or 5 fucking times already in the last 2 years. So maybe, but I think if it ends in August, I wouldn't be surprised if they pass something that forgives some sort of student loan debt. Again, the number they keep going back to is $10,000 a person. So let's just say that's what it is. I wouldn't be surprised that that's how, because they have to start collecting interest again, right? Like the federal government would be in a really bad way if they just like never collect interest on this money ever again. So I think they'll end the interest pause in August, but in order to quell people from freaking the fuck out, they will forgive $10,000 per person in September, right? Maybe September, October, because what is immediately after that, that first week in November?
Election?
Midterm elections. Yep. So I think the Democrats are going to try and ride that wave into the midterms and be like, hey, don't forget, I voted to get you student loan forgiveness, so please keep me in office. And it might work in some districts, but it's not going to save them from getting absolutely fucking crushed. It would be like a last ditch effort to save from like getting completely inundated by this alleged red wave that's coming in the fall that is just absolutely massive. Now, if you pair the student loan forgiveness, right? If they forgive $10,000 per person in September, and then, I don't know, say in around the same time, the Republicans do something fucking stupid again, like, I don't know, Texas trying to ban abortion or Oklahoma doing something fucking dumb again. Well, then maybe they can, the Democrats can actually fucking salvage this whole midterm and not get absolutely shit stomped. But I don't know. I doubt it. I doubt it, but you know, I think that's gonna, I think, again, I'm not a fucking, who am I? I'm just an asshole. I'm not like a political analyst or anything, but if I were to guess on how things were going to go, how things were going to play out leading into the midterms, I'd say that's probably more, it's more likely than not, right? That's probably how it's going to go. They'll end the interest freeze, right? So they'll start collecting interest again, but they'll forgive a little bit, 10,000 per person, and then they'll just hope that everyone shuts the fuck up and goes back to
no one will ever shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Right, because that'll be their thing too, right? So when people inevitably start freaking out, obviously also right after that is the holidays, and people are like, oh my god, I can't afford my student loans with the interest, and I can't afford my mortgage, this new house that I bought that I couldn't afford during the pandemic, and now everything's more expensive, and all this shit that I spent all my money on, now I have to do this because I didn't financially plan well. The Democrats are going to sit back and be like, well, we forgave your student loans. What else do you want us to do? And then they'll ride that fucking coattail for 2 more years until the next election cycle.
Well, I would absolutely not be surprised to see that timeline play out the way you described it. I also would not be surprised to also see it not work, because the population of people that are up in arms about student loans are not the types of people that actually get their ass to the fucking polls to vote.
That's a very good point. Yeah. Yeah.
It's almost like clamoring to the wrong population, which they'll probably do though, because I assume that they're not all stupid. They're all cunts, but they're not all dumb.
Yeah.
Actually, most of them aren't stupid. All cunts.
Yes.
Not all stupid.
Correct. Yeah.
So I don't even want to say that. I'm like, oh, well, they're dumb, so they'll probably do it anyway. It's like, nah, they ain't dumb.
Some of them are definitely dumb.
Cunts, yes.
Like that Marjorie Taylor Greene lady. She's definitely dumb.
She's out of her mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would love to say that she's like that she knows exactly what she's doing. And it's her. Who's the other one? Is it like Colorado or something? She's like super young. They're both out of their fucking minds.
I don't know who you're talking about. All right.
Boebert or something?
Oh, Lauren Boebert. She's from, is she Colorado or Montana?
No clue. She's like fairly young though. She's like 35, 36.
Yeah. She's
something
super,
like that.
Super young. Yeah. Yeah.
I would love to say that the two of them know exactly what they're doing, and it like clamors to like
they're being Trump, essentially.
Who they want to like get votes from.
They're doing the same shit that Trump did.
But here's another. So I genuinely think those two are out of their minds. Trump was never out of his mind. He knew exactly what he was doing.
Right.
Every step of the way.
Yeah. People don't give him enough credit for.
Oh yeah. He tweeted mean things, dude.
Being the ultimate troll. Right. Like he knew exactly what the fuck he was doing all the time. He knew it. Like the guy's been in front of a camera for like 30 fucking years. He knows exactly what he's doing.
Well, I even get a kick out of the vaccine stuff, because it was like vaccine this, vaccine that, like left, right, whatever. And he goes, oh, my vaccines. Yeah, they're great, aren't they?
Yeah.
He goes, remember, I developed those.
Yeah.
He's sitting there with the fucking and shit. He's got a petri dish of fucking
it's
mRNA
like,
and stuff.
And everyone is just, they're all full of shit, right? Like all you need is those two, right? Trump goes around saying, oh yeah, my vaccines, of course they're great. My administration developed them, right? I developed them. All right, buddy, you weren't in a fucking lab coat with a beaker and a Bunsen burner. But then on the other side, Biden, the dickhead, comes out and goes, well, when I got into office, there was no vaccines and we did this. It's like, hey, buddy, I know you got dementia, but I think you forgot that you got vaccinated before you even took office. Like there's pictures of you getting the vaccine before you got sworn into office.
I don't know. So Joe was in there with the Bunsen burner.
Yeah.
Wait, like Trump was like, hey man, you want me to shut this Bunsen burner off for you? He goes, no, I'll just take it over.
Yeah, I'll take it from here.
Yeah.
So they're all full of shit. They're all just assholes. But at least Trump was funny.
Yeah, the other two are just tragic. I think they're both fucking out of their minds.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, dude, I really shouldn't know who these people are. And it makes me so fucking mad that I do.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the next few months go. I don't know when people can actually announce that they're running. maybe it's after the midterms, like because there's like campaign laws. Like
I thought people were already getting their nominations though. So what's her name? Mary Taylor Greene?
Yeah. Marjorie.
Whatever. I think she already won the Republican nomination in whatever the fuck state she's from.
Oh, no. That's different. I'm talking about for presidential. The presidential election.
Presidential I don't know when you can do that.
Yeah,
it's got to be after these elections.
I would imagine so, right? Like, but I don't know. I don't know any of that shit. So, and it's just going to be a shit show for 2 years. We're going to have to hear about stupid bullshit presidential stuff.
Well,
because this is the off year, right? This is the 2 years of in between. So now they're just talking about stupid bullshit in like Georgia and like fucking Tennessee that like no one gives a fuck about. But then for the next 2 years, they're gonna be like, oh, presidential election. This guy's gonna run for president. All right, sick, dude.
Yeah. It's awesome.
But at least CNN won't have breaking news anymore.
We'll see.
Another interesting turn of events. So I saw this the other day, like briefly. Jeffrey Epstein's islands have been up for sale, right? However, they're not selling. No one's interested. I have to see if I can find this.
Why?
Honestly, I'm genuinely surprised about this. So it appears buyers are not interested in purchasing the private islands that once belonged to Jeffrey Epstein. The Wall Street Journal reported on Thursday that Great St. James and Little St. James Islands were originally listed as a pair for $125 million. Dude, if you're super fucking rich, right? What's $125 million? Like, how has no one bought these fucking islands? So,
all right. So
anyway, now real quick though, now their price has been reduced. So now they're being sold separately for $55 million, or you can obviously have both of them for 110. So
can I finance that?
I mean,
I kind of want an island.
Can someone get me a phone line to Elon Musk?
I can't afford to get there, but
listen, man, like we got to buy these islands.
Imagine that Sarcasm Speaks Island.
It's just on fucking Epstein's islands.
Fuck, that would cost so like this is why like I need fucking generational wealth. I should go play for the Saudis. Yeah. But 55 million. DJ should buy one of the islands.
He should.
55 million, build a golf course. Yeah, that's going to cost a lot of $1 million.
Yeah, but like, how has no mega rich person,
you know why,
decided to buy like
I have an outlandish theory as to why.
Why is that?
Because a lot of them have potentially visited that place and they're like, buy it? Nah, I do not want my fucking nope. Yep. No,
that's fair. That's a very fair point. But if I were rich enough, right? Like if I had $110 million,
it sounds like a great
to spend to buy an island, I would buy the fucking islands for $110 million. And then I am going to go through that place with the finest fucking tooth comb that you could ever imagine. Now, I'm sure the FBI, ATF, CIA, fucking Mossad, everybody in their fucking mother, Interpol, I'm sure they've all been all over there. I don't give a fuck. I'm buying these fucking islands and I am searching for something, right? Like I'm going to be like, I got to find out what the fuck is going on here. And I don't know if I would hire a crew or if I would just do it myself. I don't give a fuck. I got $110 million to spend on islands. Chances are I don't have a lot of shit to do anyway.
Why the fuck would you do it? You're going to sit there and fucking dig?
I want to find something.
Yeah, why the fuck wouldn't you hire a crew?
Yeah, maybe I would.
The likelihood of them finding something's a lot better than you.
But like, I need to know more, right? Like I'm just mostly curious of being like, who was this fucking guy really? Like, who was he really? And is there like some secret fucking shit here? Like I said, I'm sure like Interpol and all those guys have gone through there, but you never know. They could have missed something.
It's funny. If I had stupid money and like whatever, I would actually need to know less. I'd be like, give me a fucking bulldozer, knock all the shit down. We building.
Yeah. I'm just surprised. I'm like genuinely surprised that no one has bought them.
I like my theory.
Yeah, because they've been there.
Yep. Anyone who's been there will not buy those things.
Maybe Johnny Depp can buy them now. Well, no,
how much did he win?
Only 15 million. But
that's not going to get you an island.
That's not going to get you.
Is that a down payment on an island? Yeah,
it could be a down payment on an island. Yeah,
it's getting old though. Like I don't know if he's going to be able to pull in the rest of the money.
Yeah, well, she probably won't pay him anyway. So, just like she did to the ACLU, she never paid him.
Yeah, hate to see it.
Yeah, or what was the word she used? She intended to pay them though. She appropriated the funds. That's what she kept saying. She's like, oh no, I appropriated the funds. Like,
I'm gonna tell
pay them
at the gym. I'm gonna tell the gas company that.
Yeah. Oh no, I've appropriated the funds.
Yeah. No, I've been meaning to pay.
Yeah.
Genuinely have.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna pay. So again, anyone, if we have any mega fucking rich people that listen to the show and you want to buy Epstein's Island, you let me know, because I will hop on a plane and I will bring my fucking tobacco pipe,
medical detector
and a magnifying
medical
glass.
detector, fucking metal detector.
Yeah. I'll bring that too. I'll get a metal detector, a magnifying glass, and a nice tobacco pipe.
I love that. Like, you're gonna find something. Like, you don't even know what you're looking for.
That's how you find the best things.
I don't even really work here. That's what makes this so difficult.
You can't fire me. I don't even work here.
Yeah, that's Kramer.
Yeah.
We were talking, like, I don't know why, but Cunty Chris was talking about like working somewhere part-time for a day just so we could fucking walk out on them one day. I go, what's the point? I go, and if you want to do it that bad, go just show up to a place and just start working.
Yeah. I was talking to my boss the other day. We were walking to go get coffee, and he told me that
keep him busy, huh?
Yeah. Well, we were working late, so
maybe would have been done earlier if you didn't go get coffee.
Yeah, probably. So we were walking over, and he told me that his first job was at a Walmart, and he was in high school or whatever. And he said it was his dream to quit that job, and as he walked out, to just take his arm and just run down an aisle and just knock everything off the aisle and be like, fuck this place, I'm out of here. He obviously never did it.
Of course not. That's a dick move.
He did say that was his ultimate dream was to quit Walmart by fucking knocking everything off the shelf.
Absolute dick move. No one gets paid enough to clean that shit up.
No, it's just gonna stay there. Customers are gonna have to fucking buy their shit off the ground.
Yeah, if you want your pineapple, it's dented on the ground.
Yeah. So enjoy. All right. Well, you want to start wrap this up?
Yeah, we can wrap this up.
All right.
Let me just pull up my my picture. I would like to dedicate this episode to Titanic Thompson. Now, I sent this picture in the group chat. There's a book by Kevin Cook called The True Story of Titanic Thompson. And I'm going to read the words on the book. Killed 5 men, married 5 women, the man who bet on everything, card sharking, golf hustling, gunslinging. Now, we have an issue. Obviously, it's a book. When the fuck am I going to read? Not that I won't read it quickly.
I mean, is there an audio book?
Probably, but listen, I got no issue freeloading, but like there's only so much freeloading I can do off of Michaela's shit. Like she does actually like listen and read books and shit. So
Oh yeah, they do have it on Audible.
you read it or listen to it, whatever. So I'm thinking that Titanic Thompson is this like, like Western, like cowboy, like outlaw, whatever. Dude, he was like there was one thing I saw that he like orchestrated a match with Ray Floyd and Lee Trevino. Like, dude, that does not feel like that long. That was like the 60s.
Yeah.
And I'm like, someone like who did all of these things definitely seems like it would be a lot longer ago. And it's really not. So but like, dude, this guy was just like a fucking hustler. Like that's all he did. He just hustled everyone, everything, every way. Like there was someone challenged him to like a long drive contest. They hit their ball. He waited until winter and hit it off a lake, and it went way further because the lake was frozen. Like, dude, like shit like that, like all the time. Like, and I guess he was ambidextrous, so he would play people right-handed in golf, beat them, and then be like, "Oh, okay, well, I'll take you lefty this time." But he was actually left-handed.
Right.
And then take him again. So
that's
I don't know.
wild.
Dude was always skipping town, shit like that. Like, just I love the name. I love the title of the book. He knew Ben Hogan, like, just wild, little crazy. But he for sure went to jail for killing people. I guess so. I think what happened was I think he killed one guy, and I don't know what year, early 1900s maybe. So instead of going to like trial or jail, the sheriff was just like, "Hey, if you like never come back, like we're cool." He was like, "Okay, later."
we're good.
And then I think he for sure went to jail for killing 4 people that robbed him.
Jeez.
Or yeah, they were always in self-defense.
Huh.
Always people trying to rob him. So I think he went to jail for that. Did he not go to jail? He had to have gone to jail. Because those 4 incidences kept there was a one murder, a 2, and then another 1. Like, so those 4 murders in self-defense were not at like those 4 were not at once. It was separate instances over like 20 years. So I guess if you're interested, Titanic Thompson, never heard of him until the other day.
Pretty good. I added that book to my wish list on Audible. So we'll see if I ever get to it. If I actually get it, which funny thing here. I mean, I don't give a fuck. We're not sponsored by Audible. And I guarantee no one from Audible listens to this show. But, there's a trick that you can buy a credit on Audible if it costs, I don't know, whatever, $15, $20, however much it costs. You can listen to an audiobook and then you can return the book. So it leaves your library and you get your credit back. And then you can just get another book. You can listen to it. You can return that. I think you have 6 months.
What the fuck? Really?
Before the credit gets like used. Yeah. Here's your Audible hack, everyone.
So for 6 months, you're good.
So for 6 months, you can use 1 credit and just keep returning the book and get a new one, return the book and get a new one. Now, the downside to that is once you return the book, like, obviously you can't listen to it again, but like, how often does anyone ever go back and reread or re-listen to a book again? So I don't know.
I don't really care. I'm not gonna. I do truthfully, like, I probably won't actually listen to this book.
Yeah.
I just thought the name and the character was pretty good.
Yeah. No, for sure. So, but yeah, there's your little Audible hack for anyone that's listening. You're welcome. Hopefully we don't get a cease and desist from fucking Amazon.
Cease and desist are easy. We just won't talk about Audible ever again.
Yeah, all right, cool. Got it. All right. So my final thought is going to be Stranger Things. We talked about Netflix earlier. Have you watched the latest season?
Four episodes.
Okay. So you're about halfway.
So what's 7 out and then 2 more come out later?
Yeah.
So
I guess technically 60% of the way, but you're like roughly halfway through four through of 7.
4 of 7 that are currently out.
Yeah. Really fucking good, right?
Yeah, it's definitely taken a turn though. It's
creepy.
Like season 1 was definitely like Goonies-ish.
Yep.
Season 2, I fucking do not remember. Like, I don't remember. Like 2 and 3 of just like the fucking same. Like, I know Will is like a little bit like still in the Inside Out, like fucking flashbacks and shit, whatever.
2
but
was
they're mostly
Sean
kids.
Astin.
Yeah, but like they're still mostly kids and still mostly like Goonies style ish.
Right.
And then it became like a Cold War movie in season 3.
Yep.
Because like Red Dawn style, like there was a fucking Soviet lab in Hawkins, Indiana.
Yeah.
And then now it's like, I don't even know how to describe it, but it's definitely more of a thriller or teetering on horror movie.
It's a borderline like horror show.
Yeah.
It's pretty good though. Like they've done well, right? So I guess you could say like the show has kind of like matured as the kids have too. Like,
I mean, it's been 6 years since the first season came out.
Yeah. Like that first season was I mean, you're dealing with like demogorgons like eating people alive and shit, but like it was at least like a little bit more of like a playful feel, right? Because they're young kids and they're playing Dungeons and Dragons and they're trying to get their friend back. And like I said, there's always been the dark elements there, but like it is full blown like holy shit. And so where did you end? Like I don't know what the end of episode 4 is.
Is this spoiler alerts or no?
It's not a real spoiler, but like I just don't want to give it away if you haven't seen the guy yet.
Oh yeah, no, dude, that's
no, the dude, the original dude who lived in the house.
No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, so Nancy hasn't gone.
It's so if you really care about this, spoiler alert. It's not really a spoiler alert. It's a fucking timestamp, but I am gonna say something that happened. So if you want to bail, I mean, we're on final thoughts anyway. Max just fucking came out of the like vision or whatever the fuck.
Oh, okay.
That was the end of episode 4.
So I mean, this actually, I'll say it because it's what it doesn't take anything away from the show. But there's a guy in the show that is played by Robert Englund, which I thought was really fucking cool. Because I think it fit the way of the show. So for anyone that doesn't know, Robert Englund is the original Freddy Krueger from those movies back in the 80s. So
the dude that's in prison.
Yeah, the dude in prison.
Okay, yeah, no. So that was in episode 4. Sorry.
Okay. That's Freddy Krueger. So
okay.
I think that is really fucking cool because it's in a little way, it's like an homage to like 80s horror. And it also fits the genre more of like this season, right? With this fucking, what's his name? Vecna. Like this dude, like the first time he came on screen, I was like, holy shit, that looks like Freddy Krueger. And then like,
I thought it looked like fucking like
Nosferatu.
Venom meets Red. Yeah. No, I would say Venom meets Red Skull. Because
a little bit.
He has no nose.
That's
an easy one.
Yeah. But I was like, oh yeah, no, it's like kind of reminds me of like, Nightmare on Elm Street a little bit too, right? Because it's the whole like dreaming thing type of thing. Like it had a very Nightmare on Elm Street vibe. And when I saw like the old dude in the jail, I was like, holy shit, that's Robert Englund. Like that's Freddy Krueger. Like it fits. And it's just me being a nerd, right? Like I just thought it was really fucking cool. Yeah, a huge fucking dork. But I thought that part was pretty cool. But yeah, overall, it's fucking wild. The last 3 episodes, shit gets fucking crazy. So enjoy that.
Well, I was gonna say I'm not gonna make it to the end of the Celtics, so I might watch another episode. Depends if Michaela wants to stay up or not.
Yeah,
we're both watching it, so I won't watch it without her.
Yeah. Me and Amy binge watched it like last weekend, right? Something like that. Now we're on to Star Wars because obviously Obi-Wan, the TV show, is out on Disney Plus, and I watched the first 3 episodes, but Amy has never seen Star Wars, so she like it doesn't make any sense to her. So this weekend we watched episode 1 and 2.
Yep.
I would almost say you watch.
You could probably
first 3.
You could probably skip. You could probably skip 6 and just tell her what happens. Save her some trouble.
Yeah.
Unless she really wants to see it, but the fucking Ewok shit's a little much.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then Obi-Wan, you don't need unless she's like a big character development guy, you don't need to do episodes 1, 2, 3. Wait, what did you say? You watched episodes 1, 2, 3 or chronological 1, 2, 3?
Episodes 1 and 2.
So it's not even 4 or 5. Okay, yeah. So you got to do 1. You got to do 1 through 5 at least.
Yeah.
Episode 1 through 5. I misheard you. I thought you started with like A New Hope.
Oh no.
Oh, bummer. You watched the second one.
Yeah, the second one is not good.
So unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to get at least through 5. And if you're going to do 5, you may as well watch 6.
Right.
I
told her too. I said, I mean, we'll see after we get through the third one. Cause like realistically, you really kind of only have to watch like 4, like the first 4.
Yeah, that's true.
To understand like the Obi-Wan, right? Like the first 3, Obi-Wan takes place in the middle of 3 and 4. But I mean, we'll see. I don't think she's super into them, but I told her like straight out front too. I was like, fuck the last 3, like episodes 7, 8, 9. Like you only have to watch those if you want to watch those because those suck. Like,
and even then episode 8 is the movie where nothing happened.
Episode 8 is the worst Star Wars movie of all time.
We should torture ourselves.
It's worse than episode 2.
One day we should torture ourselves to see if episode 8 was more useless than Quantum of Solace. Because from what I remember, and I've only seen each. Oh, I have Quantum of Solace, so I've probably watched it a couple times. I just remember, like, if you want to talk about bridge movie, but it's like, I was gonna go with a metaphor that probably doesn't work, but it's like a bridge to what? Like, it was almost like a bridge that like kind of brought you in a U back to like where you started.
Yes.
Because it's like it just served no purpose,
especially Star Wars, because
like you saw some shit on the way, but it's like, how did this actually advance the story? And it never did. Yeah,
I mean, with Star Wars, they kind of did like a very soft reset for episode 9 because they were like, yeah, we really fucked up. I think it was Rian Johnson. Rian Johnson really fucked up episode 8. Like, my bad. So JJ Abrams came back and was like,
yeah, I'll just do a solid.
I'll just do you guys a favor and like put some nostalgia in here and like, you know, we'll get things going. Like I said, like it was like a very soft reset of everything. But then at that point, you did a soft reset in the last fucking movie of the series. So it kind of didn't really work that great, but they tried. But yeah, they fucked up episode 8 so bad, which sucked because I think episode 7 was pretty good.
So, yeah, I thought 7 was good.
It's one of those where it's like, because JJ Abrams did 7 and 9, and it's like, what the fuck, man? Like, why couldn't you just fucking do all three? Because then you wouldn't have had to come back to save 9. 8 would have been probably better, and then 9 could have been great. So, but whatever. Like I said, like I told her, I was like, you don't have to watch those ones. Those ones fucking blow anyway. So, although Rogue One, probably worth a watch just because it's a good movie overall. I think I like Rogue One more than I like any of the new Star Wars shit that's come out.
Yeah, I mean, if episode 5, probably 5, then 4 are the best.
Yeah.
And then like 6 and 3 are kind of like stuck in next, and it's probably 1, then 2.
Yep. Then
I don't really know where 7, 8, 9 fit. I don't know. Like I haven't seen him enough. And again, 9 was like a solid for the fans. 8 was awful. That's down there with 2.
Yeah. I would say like the bottom rankings are 8 and 2. Put them in either order you want.
Whatever. They're the same level.
I would put 8 below 2.
Dante's like Rings of Hell. Like
yeah.
they're on the 9th floor.
Yeah.
But yeah, Rogue One probably slides in right around like that 6-3.
Yeah.
Maybe above them.
Yeah, definitely in that same realm with 6 and 3.
I mean, it leads right into 4.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So, all right. Well, that's going to do it. It's going to do it for us tonight. So, thank you guys for watching on YouTube. Make sure you click the thumbs up, subscribe, like, rate, review, wherever you're listening as well. If you're an audio only guy or gal or transgender, or whatever the fuck you are. You can get us on Instagram at Sarcasm Speaks Pod. We're on Twitter at Sarcasm_speaks. The Facebook page is Sarcasm Speaks. The website is sarcasmspeaks.com. Go to the merch store, buy some merch. I tried to make a Meteor Volcano 2024 shirt. It ended up being a way more fucking work than I thought. So I just didn't finish it. I had to like go into Canva and like make this whole design and then upload it to Redbubble, which we use for merchandise. And it was like this whole fucking thing. I was like, I might get it done eventually, but I haven't done it. I at least started it. Thank you to grillyourassup.com. Go to grillyourassup.com. Use the promo code SarcasmPod for 15% off your entire order every single time you check out. Is that it? Is that all of it? I think so.
I didn't realize the Celtics game was already on. I thought it was 9 o'clock start.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, no, they're in Boston.
No, they're not.
Oh, they're not? Really?
They're still out there.
Is this game 2 or 3?
Game 2.
Oh, shit. I thought it was game 3. Never mind.
Hey, time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah. Can you tell I'm a big basketball guy?
Huge.
Yeah. Well, good night, everybody.